Good afternoon, everyone. For all of you that just joined us, if you could kindly go to the handout section of this webinar, there are some handouts we have there for you, one being a copy of today's webinar. So if you would take the opportunity and go ahead and either download or print that information, I think you will find it to be beneficial to you later to share with family and friends and those within your circle of influence. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for joining us for today's webinar titled 2020 Holiday Survival Guide: How to Save During the Pandemic Holidays Without Looking Like the Grinch in a Mask. This holiday season, we all must agree, is unlike any other. It's been a scary and depressing year on so many fronts: our physical health, our mental health, and our financial health. So, in many ways, this is a very important holiday season. Today, we'll talk about how to not only survive the holidays, but to thrive what should be during what should be the happiest time of the year. My name is Doris Baker. I work for Consolidated Credit, which is one of the nation's largest and oldest credit counseling agencies. For more than 2 decades, our nonprofit has literally helped millions of Americans get out of debt and balance their budgets, which means they freed up money for everything from retirement savings to, yes, even debt free holiday shopping. So, what you'll learn today are the tips and tricks we've used to help more than 6 million Americans over the past 27 years. Whether you love the holidays or hate them, the plain truth is we spend a lot of money during this festive time. How much? Try $730 billion last year. That was 4% more than the year before. And that was only for November and December. So that excludes all the early birds who finished their shopping way ahead of time. How much is $730 billion? Dollars? That's more than the gross domestic product of Greece, Vietnam, and Finland combined. Now, when you throw around words like billions, it's hard to relate. So let's drill down. The average American spends $1,000 on not only gifts, but everything holiday related. And that goes up almost every year. Obviously, the question is what happens in 2020, a year unlike any other? The holidays are stressful enough even in the best of times. Obviously, 2020 hasn't been the best of times. Fortunately, the best tactics for being financially savvy during the holidays still apply, pandemic or not. Others need just a little tweaking. Lucky for you, we've been teaching holiday smart shopping for decades. So let's review some easy tactics for being smart and stress free. The first step to saving big this holiday season, we admit it's the least fun. Let's face it, no one likes creating a budget, especially for a pleasant task like showering everyone with gifts. But it's crucial to doing holiday shopping right. The first step is making a list and, yes, checking it twice. Exactly who do you need to buy gifts for? Really put some thought into this because you're making a promise to yourself that this is it. We're not yet talking what you're going to buy these folks, just that you want to, or in the case of a boss, maybe need to get presents for. Over the years, studies have consistently shown something interesting. In general, most people spend around 1.5% of their gross annual income on holiday spending. We think that's too much, but we also deal in reality here. So here's how to figure out this number. Simply take your annual salary and multiply it by 1.5%. So if you earn $40,000 a year, that's a holiday budget of $600. Now I know what you're thinking. If the national average is over 1,000, how am I supposed to take care of everyone I care about without looking like a Scrooge? Well, we're going to show you how right now. You will see on the slide that you have before you, there is a URL in blue at the bottom, and that is our interactive budget, holiday budget spending planner. I want to give you the opportunity to jot it down or take a picture of this slide if you need to. Also, keep in mind that I'm going to provide you with a copy of this webinar, and that URL will be there for you to play around with it and give it some interaction. Go in and see what it's all about. So that's one way you can be on top of your holiday budgeting. So let's move on. Everyone knows you can score great deals online rather than in the store, but not everyone knows about these comparison shopping tech tools. These websites and apps and many others just like them let you make a list of desired items, then tell you when the best deal is being offered. Most of the ones you see here are pegged to Amazon, but Baywatch monitors deals on eBay, while the Mac Index does the same for the sale of Apple products. You can find these price monitoring programs everywhere, and you don't need to be tech savvy to take advantage of them. Try one or more and see if you save big. Let's talk for a moment about gifts you make yourself. These often get a bad rap because some people think it's just a cheap way out of buying expensive gifts. And they're right. But these gifts can be amazing because they're personal. So if you can knit a sweater or build a jewelry box, those will be treasured items. Don't forget, your gift is one of many. So it's not like your friends or family aren't going to get lots of store bought presents anyway. Why not make yours special? Now, what we're talking about here won't work for tech conscious kids and young adults. But if you know older loved ones who need a new smartphone, tablet, laptop, or TV set, you don't have to buy the latest leading edge model. In fact, older Americans might appreciate a previous generation of electronics that's already been proven reliable and is really just as good. Meanwhile, you save hundreds. If you can't make a gift, you can probably assemble one. It's usually much cheaper and a lot more fun to make your own gift baskets for friends and family you know well. Why? Because you know what they like, whether it's their favorite brand of chocolate or their preferred coffee. Gift baskets don't have to be about just food either. You can assemble one for hair and skin care, incense and candles, and kitchen utensils. We've even seen one just for socks because the gift giver knew their friend loved to wear crazy socks to work. This is good, especially for the kids. Have them gift personal coupons for cleaning the yard. If you're in an area where snow is, shoveling snow, washing the car, and other that they often require a lot of nagging to get them to reluctantly do. Instead of them begging you for cash to buy gifts, you'll save your money and teach them the value of not only a dollar, but also of work. Likewise, you can sprinkle in such coupons for your kids, promising them a free trip for ice cream or one free pass of making their bed. Whatever will brighten their eyes doesn't have to lighten your wallet. This doesn't help you this year, but it'll save you big for next year. Right after this holiday season, desperate retailers will be trying to move big ticket items they couldn't sell. If you aren't a stickler for a particular brand, you can pick up amazing bargains. In fact, this advice is good all year long. Let's face it, the best time to shop for the holidays is when other people aren't. You can start stocking away gifts from January through the summertime. Gift giving isn't the only big expense during the holidays. There are holiday decorations as well. This year will be a little different, but there will be socially distant holiday parties and holiday meals. There might even be some holiday travel. So, our first piece of advice for saving on holiday items that aren't gifts is do exactly the same we just talked about. Shop early and often. We're talking about stocking up on wrapping paper in the days after the holidays, buying Christmas ornaments or menorahs in the spring, booking post pandemic holiday travel in the dead of summer. We're still a supply and demand society, so buying your supplies when there's little demand will save you big. We spoke earlier about getting the kids involved in creating gifts. Now let's talk about them helping on the spending side of the equation. Any parent knows that kids are very interested in buying things, but not so interested in saving money. The holidays are the one time of the year when your children might be motivated to think about budgeting. While you might be buying them presents, you can help set a reasonable budget for their friends as well as yourself. Not only can you save a few bucks, you'll be teaching your children lessons that are invaluable. The holidays aren't just about gifts. In most years, they're about family gatherings and big parties. While those gatherings might be smaller this year and those parties will probably be canceled, both can get pricey regardless of their size. Instead of spending money on expensive meals or trips, try saving money by doing activities that can bring you closer together as a family. Here are just a few that involve doing things together. And you can see from the examples we have there on the slide before you. One of the biggest causes of holiday stress and spending isn't figuring out what to buy those closest to you. It's figuring out how to properly acknowledge those you like but don't see all the time. What about long lost or far flung pals? What about your favorite hairstylist who's done a great job with safety during this pandemic? Your child's favorite teacher who's back in class or doing well teaching online. You want to save money, but you don't want to be inappropriate. Here are two tips. First, save time and money by sending e cards. These are free or just a few bucks for the most elaborate ones. You can add a message and music and even animations. Instead of spending up to $6 on a holiday card, this is a simple and even appreciated option. As for those you interact with on a daily or weekly basis, nothing beats a gift card to their favorite place for coffee or lunch. Do they prefer Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Do they lunch at Panera or Subway? These thoughtful gestures don't cost much, but show you not only care, you remember what they like. It might seem odd to conclude our lessons about saving money during the holidays with some advice for giving it away, especially during a pandemic. But believe it or not, donating to charity can make you richer. And we're not just talking about in spirit. For starters, I'm sure you've heard about making tax deductible donations. Like everything with taxes, it's not as simple as it sounds, but yes, if you donate to charities that are properly designated by the IRS, you can save on your annual tax bill. But how do you choose a qualified charity? And how else can you help yourself by helping others? The best place to start when you want to get into the holiday spirit by giving instead of receiving. Charity Navigator rates charities by their financial health, their accountability, and their transparency. Practically speaking, that means these charities really help people, and they do it by not spending a lot on overhead. Charity Navigator is free to use, and I encourage you to not only look up charities you already know, but also use the search function to discover reputable charities you might not have ever heard of. And that is charitynavigator.org. Just as we talked about earlier, using gift buying as a way to teach your children about budgeting, you can use charitable giving to teach them about being good citizens. Charity isn't just about money, it's about effort. Get your kids together to assemble care packages for troops. Volunteer to feed the homeless during a holiday dinner at your place of worship. This is a great bookend to the most important lesson of the holiday season. It's not about money, it's about our loved ones. Whether you're getting or you're giving, what matters most is the people, not the presents. What if the shutdown has devastated your finances so badly you can't even afford to take this advice? Well, we're going to say this, and we hope it really sinks in. The holidays are really about the most important gift you can give, your love and affection. In these unprecedented times, no one will blame you when you tell them you simply cannot afford gifts this year. Instead, I bet you they'll feel just as blessed when you offer to speak with them online or host a virtual happy hour with friends. Maybe, just maybe, what you think will be a horrible holiday season will be inspiring when you realize how many loved ones you have and how badly they just want to spend a few minutes talking to you. This concludes our webinar for today. Hopefully, this quick holiday guide will not only save you money, it'll also save you worry. Of course, responsible spending is a year round pursuit, so feel free to hit us up anytime for financial advice for every season. So let's celebrate with friends and family and begin 2021 in a better mood. Thank you all for joining us today. Again, I'm going to, you have in your handout section a copy of this webinar. Please take the opportunity to go into the URL that's listed here on this final screen to take part in our Budgeting Made Easy Holiday Budget Spending Planner. It's interactive, it's a lot of fun, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Again, thank you so much for attending and make the rest of your day the best of your day. Take care.